Kelce.
The couple are acting out a great drama which is as deep as the universe itself. The yearning for a better romance still remains. Are you ready for it? It's me. Hi, I'm the Reformed mythologist Nate Morgan Locke. It's me. In this video, we're going to look at the mythology underlying the love story everyone is talking about. The blossoming relationship between Taylor Allison Swift and Travis Michael Kelce. I'm going to assume you wouldn't have clicked on this video if you're sick of hearing about them, or if you believe it to be some cynical ploy to boost NFL viewing figures or change the outcome of the next US presidential election. But if you have got those views, I'm still glad you're here. Others, on the other hand, insist that instead of being a deep state psyop or an NFL marketing ploy, instead the relationship between Miss Americana and the Kansas City Chiefs tight end is yet more proof that we have become decadent, inane, and narcissistic. Western civilization is in decline, and celebrity gossip is the epitome of our superficial age. You too are also very welcome. But I'm taking an even more ridiculous view, that in fact the romance between Tay-Tay and Trav points to something beyond itself. Something profoundly human and quite possibly divine. Before we really get going, I should let you know that I'm a big Taylor Swift fan. You can check out my video essay, Perspectives, the storytelling genius of Taylor Swift, as proof of that claim. And also, despite being English, I have followed the NFL for a couple of decades now. In this way, I was in the sweet spot when the couple began dating. This time last year, only a small group of us were fans of both Taylor and Travis separately. I was proud of the fact that I could list each of Taylor's albums, and also knew that as part of the Kansas City Chiefs, that Kelce was on course to become one of the most decorated tight ends in the history of the National Football League. I'm aware that this group of people is now considerably larger. I'm glad you're here. Anyway, my real interest is in stories and storytelling and studying them from a Christian point of view. And that's why this channel is called The Reformed Mythologist. So why is the romance of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce such a big conversation? Of course, one reason people are invested is that they're Swifties who care about Taylor and want her to be in a happy and healthy relationship. They have followed the ups and downs of her love life for many years and are delighted that Travis's job has given us dozens of opportunities to see Taylor behind the scenes, as it were. And what we've seen in the last 6 months has been, for the most part, very wholesome. It's not only that two individuals have become boyfriend-girlfriend, but that their families have been closely involved in their courtship. We have seen Taylor with Donna, Ed, Jason, and Kylie Kelce. And we've also seen Travis with both Scott and Andrea Swift. This is hugely significant because it's a useful reminder that we're not atomized individuals. We are the products of the families we come from. This is especially the case when it comes to marriage, which has obviously been a huge point of speculation for Taylor Swift's fans. Before we leave the specifics of Taylor and Travis and move into what their relationship might mean at a deeper level, let me just say that I wish them very well in their relationship. And I would be delighted to hear if they got married and lived happily ever after. Marriage is a gift of God in creation, and in the parlance of our times, I would love that for them. But as I say, I think there's something deeper going on here in terms of the cultural resonance of their relationship. Are you ready for it? There's a specifically American story here, and it tracks with the scenarios described in many of Taylor's songs. A deeper reason people are invested in Tay-Tay and Trav is because they stand as symbols for a particular American mythology, the high school romance. Taylor has written and recorded and re-recorded many songs which take place in high school. There are homerooms, gymnasiums, the bedrooms of heartbroken teenage girls. Now, yes, she writes songs about other things, but she is at her best when putting into words the ubiquitous experience of meet-cutes, unrequited love, and a huge amount of getting in and out of cars with boys. Having started her career as a teenager, we could argue that this was inevitable for Taylor's early output. But as I discuss in the Perspectives essay, Taylor's ability to transcribe the high school romance was never more delicately displayed than in the folklore love triangle. While Taylor has fans all around the world, this is a peculiarly American mythology. It's a rich tradition with decades of examples, and it's arguably the last great American mythology. after stories of a city on a hill and the westward expansion have declined. America essentially invented the high school in the first half of the 20th century, and then communicated it to the rest of the world through film and television. Of course, schooling existed prior to this, but the particular expectations and shape of the high school are especially American. Various socioeconomic conditions have to be in place for the conception of the American high school to work. In the UK, for example, while much of the American high school mythos has been imported over the last 30 years, British school stories were always set in boarding houses, and it wasn't until the Harry Potter books were made into films that Britain was able to sell its own version of adolescent education. Even then, the focus of the Hogwarts mythos has very little to do with the boyfriend-girlfriend dynamics. The American high school imaginary is a highly structured cosmology. The pupils are the main protagonists, and the primary relationships within these stories is among the students themselves. Yes, there are teachers and parents and ancillary school staff members such as coaches, caretakers and the like, but they are often background characters. The great high school dramas present to us not only memorable characters, but also play with archetypes. The jock, the nerd, the rebel, the prom queen. By the beginning of the 21st century, films like High School Musical and TV shows like Glee were running full-scale parodies of these early examples. One major feature of the high school romance mythos is the fact that it builds towards a great sporting event or occasion, which paves the way for the dance or the prom in celebration. America has cemented these events as secular rites of passage, ceremonial gatherings marking the major acts of the teenage drama, and no one has so sincerely perpetuated this adolescent rom-com better than Taylor Swift. So Taylor and Travis are not only a nice couple. As the sports star and the girl with teardrops on her guitar, they represent the high school sweethearts. Tay-Tay and Trav don't have real jobs. They get to spend their days indulging in hobbies which most of us had to give up taking seriously when we became adults. Now, this sports meets music thing is relevant for a non-academic culture. Taylor is clearly remarkably intelligent and conscientious, but the emphasis of her artistic approach is the heart rather than the head. In fact, the darker songs are usually those about overthinking, becoming, if you will, a mastermind. Travis, likewise, is not an academic, but instead does his talking on the field. Of course, he has to perform his physical skills at a high level of intensity, and learning the playbook is a difficult thing to do, but again, he is part of a story about the heart, the desire, the passion. Beyoncé and Jay-Z are both musicians. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds both actors. But Taylor and Travis live in different realms. They are the sports star and the singer. The British version of this is, of course, Posh and Becks. The worlds of sports and entertainment are united in Taylor and Travis's relationship. These are different high-profile pursuits. And in this, we have the union of sport and show business. Taylor and Travis are Troy and Gabriella. Of course, there have been many other examples of sports star and musician, or sports star and film star. But these, Taylor and Travis, are apex celebrities. She wins Grammy after Grammy, and he wins the Super Bowls. The hierarchy of competition is almost unparalleled, and they are the best in the world at what they do. Uranus and Gaia, Kronos and Rhea, Zeus and Hera. These are the three relationships in Greek mythology known as the Hieros Gamos, the holy marriage, the union of heaven and earth, the spirit and the flesh. It's worth noting that in these couples, especially Uranus and Gaia, that the male character is the heavens and the female the earth. As we look at Swift and Kelce's careers, we can see that they can represent these two realms, though their given respective careers have the roles switched. Taylor first. Taylor is a singer and a songwriter. Her power is in the voice, or the vibrations of the guitar strings or the piano keys. Her work is about the invisible waves of sound which make us feel and think. Rhythm, Melody, harmony, poetry, rhyme, speech, and song are the materials with which she plays. Taylor is aligned with the muses. Travis, on the other hand, represents the earth, the physical, that which we can touch and feel. His days are spent lifting weights, running around a track, and picking himself up from the field wearing armor. He is a man of blood, sweat, and tears, muscles, ligaments, bones. His job is literally to carry an object to a designated place to get points, and it's made harder by the fact that other men of similar size are standing in his way, trying to smash him into the ground. Taylor and Travis is a union of the physical and the spiritual, the marriage of heaven and earth. Marriage is the union of man and woman, the joining together of the opposites, the complementary union of male and female. This is a creation ordinance which, of course, calls to mind the creation of Adam and Eve, the man who is humanity and the woman who is the mother of all the living. The Christian message is that this perfect, peaceful, pure union has become corrupted. That Adam and Eve, made to reflect God, chose instead to reject God. And that in turning from their creators also turned from each other. That heartbreak, heartache, jealousy, suspicion, lust, and bitterness become the ordinary experience of human beings. This is what we know all too well. And this is what has given Taylor so much material to work with when writing her songs. The beauty and the brokenness. The world is both gorgeous and grotesque. It's miserable and magical. We're happy, free, confused, and lonely at the same time. But the yearning for a better romance still remains. The idea is out there that hope can still be found. This is the Christian message. That a second Adam has come, that a new and better romantic has come to take for himself a bride. Now, it's possible to dismiss all this as youth pastor theology. Jesus is a better boyfriend for Taylor than Travis Kelce. Whatever. The salvation of Taylor Swift is not the purpose of this video. Instead, I'm trying to persuade you that our interest in them as a couple goes deeper than our social proclivity for celebrity gossip. The resonance of the guy on the Chiefs coming home to Taylor Swift is not karma, but the mythic structure of reality, that we are all living in one great divine romantic comedy. As the scriptures say, for this reason a man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and the two will become one flesh. This is a profound mystery, but I am talking about Christ and the church. When we see a marriage, we are to think that the couple are acting out a great drama which is as deep as the universe itself, that the bridegroom is playing the part of Christ, the high King of heaven who took on flesh, and then the bride is acting out the role of the church, the people of earth in union with their loving Creator. As Taylor and Travis's relationship grows, I, for one, am hoping that it increasingly points to the glorious, wholesome joy found in the great romantic comedy of human history, the love story which is the gospel of Jesus Christ. Please remember that media consumption is optional. You are under no obligation to listen to Taylor Swift or watch the NFL. I'm Reformed Mythologist Nate Morgan Locke. I'm glad you are here.